Hey everybody, welcome back to Tim Travels. I'm Terry, your host, here with my sidekick Beatrice, and Jack is in the passenger seat. I'm coming to you from the global corporate headquarters of Prime Inc.'s North Central U.S. region here in Minooka, Illinois. I didn't try to stop this, and I'm a little bit ashamed about that, but I was really fearing for my safety. But I saw a couple of tanker guys and maybe one reefer dude, or excuse me, one flatbed guy beating up some reefer drivers here. So I just said I was here visiting a friend who's a tanker guy, because I don't know. I feel like it's hard to, like, after stuff we've talked about, I feel like it's hard to face these dudes, like, or these folks, you know. Anyway, there's nothing I could do about it. Okay, so today's December 20th, 4 shopping days until Christmas, and so if you're getting me a gift, and I know you are, you know, you got just a few days to figure it out and get it shipped to me. And before I talk about, like, history on this day, I just got to say this. And I try to mind my own business in a way. I don't like I saw a guy go by me the other day with a trailer that wasn't locked. It was sealed, but it wasn't locked. And I was like, nah, I don't care. That's his problem, not mine. You know, like, I'm not gonna, like, call the lock police at Prime or whatever. And, you know, like, I saw somebody do something in Pittston the other day that I don't know if they reported it. It's not my job to police them. But I got to say this: there's a truck parked next to me, and my windows are rolled up. I don't want to start a fight, but there's a truck parked next to me here in Pittston, Minooka. And it's a Volvo, and it's a white Volvo, and this quite possibly is the nastiest looking truck I've ever seen at Prime. And when I say that, I don't mean like it's just dirty, because you could tell, like, there's road dirt, salt, stuff like that. This is one of those trucks where you see the trucks pull into a truck stop in the middle of the night, and they legit look like they've never ever once been washed. That's what this looks like. I mean, it's got, like, it's a white truck too, right? It's got huge black spots on it and everything. But then when I was getting out of my truck to go inside a few minutes ago, I noticed that it looks like somebody dumped a dip cup out, at least the passenger's door, and it just basically drained down the side of the door onto the steps. I mean, that's part of it. That's the only thing I can think of, because I know what dip looks like after it's come out of somebody's mouth and been spit in a can or a bottle, and that's what this looks like. Like, it's the nastiest Prime truck I've ever seen. And it's, when you get your trailer washed at one of the other terminals, it's only an extra $10 to get the tractor washed. I mean, I can't, because my theory on truck washing is this: I don't need a truck that's all, like, shiny and, looks like it's going to be in some contest. But I am cognizant of the fact that whatever's on the steps is coming in the truck. Whatever's on your shoes is coming in the truck. Yeah, so there's that. So December 20th, a lot of famous people died on this day. Among them are Carl Sagan, Bobby Darin. Who else died on this day? Man, I'm drawing a blank here. I had a list in my head, but maybe it'll come back. I'll tell you who was born on this day, though, was Branch Rickey. And you might not know who Branch Rickey is, but if you watch the movie 42, about Jackie Robinson, that, by the way, Chadwick Boseman played Jackie Robinson in that movie. So Branch Rickey was played in the movie 42 by Harrison Ford. And Branch Rickey was the guy that basically integrated Major League Baseball by hiring Jackie Robinson to play for the Brooklyn Dodgers. Now, the other thing that Rickey did, which is also a huge deal, is he's the guy that kind of started the minor league system. So, you know, that whole system, like, he's the one that started it. And, you know, kind of developed it. And that's how a lot of Dodger teams were great, was the minor league system. And a lot of teams have used that. I mean, it's not so prevalent today that guys are homegrown, but it used to be that way. Like, when somebody was in somebody's system, you could say, oh yeah, I saw, you know, Cal Ripken Jr. playing in Rochester, or I saw, you know, Brian Sandberg playing at the Iowa, you know, farm team of the Cubs. I don't know if he ever did, but I'm just using those guys as examples. And, you know, so guys would go through the minor leagues, and it's also a place where people go to, like, get better, either get their careers better or just recover from injuries. Like, a lot of times when pitchers have a Tommy John surgery, they go down to the AA or the AAA team, and they start pitching, and the idea is the stakes are less and they can work their way back up to major league form. So, Branch Rickey, born on this day. All right, so it's the 20th. I got this. So I was in the last video I did. I was in Massachusetts, and yeah, the weather was crazy. And I actually got in this huge, like, slowdown / traffic jam on I-90 West in Massachusetts because the road was flooded out. And I saw some accidents, you know, people just driving too fast for the conditions, and, you know, you hit a giant puddle of water in your, you know, Hyundai Elantra, and you might go flying into that Jersey barrier. And I saw some people that had done that. So yeah, I also saw somebody that managed to drive a FedEx ground pup into a pond along with the tractor in Connecticut. They had a crane out there. They were trying to fish that whole thing out. That was off of 84. So crazy weather. And, you know, then I got over to Pennsylvania. Okay, so then I get this dispatch, right? The deadhead on this dispatch, this is like shortest route, which I don't necessarily take, 1,050 miles. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, dude, are you freaking insane? Why would you take a load that has a 1,050 mile deadhead? And the answer is easy. Because the load keeps me busy, but it also pays about $1.43 a mile for every mile. But that 1,050 miles is the long part of the trip, because this load is going back east. I'm picking up in Ottawa, Illinois. It's going back east, but it's not going all the way back to Boston. So the line haul, which of course is just based on the loaded miles, that's what Prime says, because, you know, shippers don't typically pay for deadhead miles. They're like, hey, our load's here. That's where you are is not our problem. We just want you to take it from here to where, you know, to our customer. So the line haul on this is over $2 a mile. And, you know, the thing is, I was able to run out here obviously empty, and I because of the schedule, I was able to come out here at like 59 miles an hour the whole way. So I think I stopped before I dropped the load off. I got 50 gallons of fuel at a Pilot in Connecticut because I didn't know where I was going to go. And then since then, I got 50 gallons at a Love's in Pennsylvania, and then I got 20 gallons today at a Love's in Napoleon, Ohio. So I really haven't bought much fuel. My average fuel economy today was like over 10 miles to the gallon. So, and that was not on the interstate. So I avoided all but a short little part of the Mass Turnpike. I avoided tolls the whole other way out. Well, and then right when you get off on 80 off of 294, you know, that one toll you go through when you head out here towards Manuka. So now that I'm out here in Illinois, I can get some dirt cheap fuel because the Pilot here is pretty cheap. The Love's down the road where Naf is, which is actually where I'm going to go in a little bit. It is cheap, but I think the cheapest in the area is the TA in Morris. So I have to check the numbers, but I'll look at that. But you know, I know that deadheading is like, no one wants 1,000-mile deadhead. But again, you got to look at what it is you're trying to accomplish. And the bottom line is, I could have stayed in Massachusetts and hoped to get some kind of load from there, you know, or the general New England area. But that might have, but you know, I saw a lot of prime trucks. It doesn't mean anybody was getting a load out of there. There's got to be a shipper. And we all know that those are areas where there's a lot of customers. Now, I've had loads out of there I've had loads out of New England beyond Ben and Jerry's. I've done High Val out of New England, more than once. I've done, in fact, 2 High Vals I did were chemicals and in like medical, like adhesives. I've done 1 load of paper out of New England, but I've also done chocolate, seafood, not chocolate, seafood, just 2 different categories, chocolate and seafood. I've done, what else? I'm trying to think. I was telling somebody today but I haven't done, you know, a lot of times the word on the street is, oh, it's just paper out of there. I've done more than that. So, and I've done a couple of different seafood places. Out of Massachusetts. Oh, and I've done French fries, believe it or not, because McCain has a facility up in Maine. Now, I was telling somebody the weird thing about the McCain load, because I took that to Philadelphia, and it paid really well, was I took a load of frozen French fries from Burley, Idaho, all the way to the McCain facility in Maine. And that McCain facility is way to crap up in northern Maine. Like, you go all the way basically to the last exit on I-95 before you hit Canada or Iceland or something. And then you go north for, like, it seems like it's maybe another 3 hours. It might not be that far, but it's way up there. Like, if you don't head in the right direction, you're gonna end up in Canada. Like, if you don't go south from there, you're gonna be in Canada. It's surrounded by Canada on 3 sides. But then I got up there, dropped that load from Idaho, and then immediately picked up a load going to a food service place in Philadelphia, down by Fishtown. And it's right off of 95. You can see it from 95. But it's a brand new facility, or at least it was then, quite new, and so there's plenty of space. They built it after 53-foot trailers became a thing. So the Deadhead, Deadhead's not a lot of brain damage, right? You don't have to watch anything. You get good fuel mileage. I got here, got my trailer washed out. I'm gonna fuel this truck. I'm supposed to be over at Tyson at like 1:30 in the morning. And then that load's going back to Syracuse, and it's gonna be, it's a Friday delivery, so I'm gonna have to drive a little bit harder going east, because I can't do it in just one shift. So I'm gonna have to drive a little bit harder, figure out what my clock is. I'm not gonna be able to do, I don't know, I'll figure it out. I might do an 11-hour shift and then do a 10, and that would put me pretty close. I have to see, but I probably will use the toll road going back. But I got tolls on this load, and I had I think I had like $552 of fuel surcharge. So I should be able to make some money on this load. I have a good week this week. I did all my trip reports, so I don't have a lot to complain about. And like I said, I'd rather not be sitting, because I'd rather run a load that's paying, like I said, this whole load is paying $1.42 a mile, but over 1,000 of those, of that 1,700 miles I got to run, is at a very, very low cost. So if I'm running $1.42 and I'm deadheading, that's not a shabby, I'll drive an empty trailer all over America for $1.42 a mile. So and I don't think, I suspect this load's not going to be that heavy either. So we'll see, but I think there's some profit to be made, and hey, I'm gonna go home. If I really am lucky, there's something they asked me to take a trailer like way far from my 90, and then I'm gonna get some shuttle pay for that. Otherwise, I'll probably just run from Syracuse down to Pittston, and hey, I mean, what's one more trailer when you already got 200 trailers too many in your lot? What's one more, right? That's how I look at it. So yeah, drop this Friday morning. If there's a load, I'll take it. I'd like to be home Saturday, but if I don't get home till Sunday, I'm cool with that. And yeah, we'll just go from there. So be safe. I already have seen some trucks in the median. Like I said, that one truck was in a pond, but the snow, I hit snow in Ohio and stuff. I saw a truck on its side in the median. I won't say what company it was in Prime. And yeah, it wasn't even it was on a slight curve, but it was flat. It was not, it doesn't seem like it should have been a dangerous curve, but sometimes 0 is the speed you should be going in snow, meaning you should stop. So anyway, I will talk to you soon. Be safe. And if I don't talk to you again, have a Merry Christmas. But let me say this, be on the lookout. I've been wanting to do this for a while, but be on the lookout for a live Tim Travels show from the Tim Travels Manor. That's what I call my house, the Manor. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do I'm going to kind of do a mashup between what Lyle does and what some other people do. I'm probably going to have some booze that I'm enjoying, but I'm also going to do some trivia, and here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do questions that I've already said in at least one of my videos, what the answer to the question would be. So, but there are going to be questions on geography. So, and when I say geography, probably not a lot of world geography, but certainly U.S. geography, because that's what we do. We drive around America. Some history questions, maybe, I don't know. I'll think of a few things to ask, but it's all for fun and bragging rights, okay? And I'll also be responding to comments and stuff, and yeah, so I'm planning that. I want to say maybe around the 27th, because I think on well, I don't want to say what my Christmas plans are, because I don't want somebody to break in our house, although B will be home. So and we're not really giving each other Christmas presents, so, and maybe I'll do at least one more video just to talk about Christmas a little bit. So anyway, but be on the lookout for that. If you're on the road, even if you're not on the road, if you're home, you can pull it up on your TV and watch it live and enjoy a beverage of your choice. And yeah, we'll go from there. So I'll talk to you soon. Bye.